Hello, guys, and welcome to another podcast here of SpoBits.com, a website which analyzes games tactically and statistically around the game. So, today we will be reviewing the last 16 draw which took place 2 hours ago of the UEFA Champions League. We have some exciting draws because the group stage was very exciting to say the least, and the last 16 draw which has panned out has been quite exciting as well. Some very good ties to look forward to, some very tough ties for few teams who are expected to go much further forward in the tournament. So you might expect few very good results in the last 16 stage and few surprises as well if you're going to see other teams also progress in the Champions League. So if we go through the draw, the first tie is between Juventus from Italy versus Tottenham Hotspur from England. Juventus will be at home in the first leg, and then both teams will play at Wembley, the Spurs' home ground this season in this second leg. A very interesting draw. Juventus and Spurs, both, as we all know, are a very good team. Juventus especially are a very good team in Europe. The finalists, the runners-up of the previous edition of the Champions League. Spurs, the group toppers from the group which consisted of Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. So they are in form. They had 16 points from the possible 18, which is a very good return from a team, from Mauricio Pochettino's men, and somewhat it has deterred them from performing in the Premier League as well. So they will be more determined to perform well in the Champions League this season. Juventus, on the other hand, are a good team. They have a little bit of issues in the midfield in this season, especially in the defense. Also, the loss of Leonardo Bonucci has deterred them also a little bit, so they will also be looking to perform well. So it's going to be an interesting draw. It's going to be an interesting tie between Juventus and Spurs. Moving on to the second tie, we have FC Basel from Switzerland facing an informed, one of the best European teams in the current form, Manchester City from England. It's going to be a tall order for FC Basel. Manchester City have been in terrific form, in fabulous form. They just defeated their derby rivals Manchester United yesterday night to reclaim 11-point lead in the Premier League title race. Now, getting an 11-point lead, and it's only in December, you might know that Manchester City are in some form, and they were very good in the group stage as well. 5 wins out of the 6. So it will be a tall order for FC Basel, who in my opinion have been very good, especially when it comes to playing against the English opponents. So it's not going to be that easy, especially the first leg away to Switzerland for Manchester City, but I fully expect City to do well here and Basel to give a good fight. So let's see how this tie moves around in February. Moving on to the third tie, we have FC Porto from Portugal facing off Liverpool from England. Liverpool, the group toppers, consisted of Sevilla, Moscow, and the other team was Maribor from Slovenia. So FC Porto are a very good side. They have some very experienced players, a very good striker, in-form striker Vicente Abubakar. They have an experienced goalkeeper, Iker Casillas, a Champions League winner with himself. So you might expect Porto should be very good in compact in the defense, like many teams do against Liverpool, and they have a very good attacking line to counter-attack the Liverpool's attack on many occasions. They have a very informed striker, Vincent Abubakar, as I mentioned. So Liverpool should be wary of that. But Liverpool have their own front line which should be feared. They have a very good front four and a very good midfield to boast that. Sometimes the defense can be twitchy along with the goalkeeper, but if the Fab Four and the other attacking players go in sync in the whole tie, Liverpool should have enough to get past Porto. But Porto, as we all know, if they get the attacking game going against this Liverpool defense, you never know, Porto can spring something out of this. Right, so moving on to the next draw, we have Sevilla versus Manchester United. Sevilla, as we all know, very good team at home. They never lose at home. Last time they lost at home was December 2016, and they will be playing their first leg at home to Manchester United. A Manchester United team which to me now are pretty much out of the title race. They're 11 points behind Manchester City, so their concentration should be on the Champions League, especially now or at least going through the last 8 or at least going to the last 4 of this competition. Jose Mourinho, as we all know, a serial winner in the Champions League. He has won trophies with Porto, he has won trophies with Inter Milan. So you might see Manchester United do well in this competition as well. So it's Sevilla versus Manchester United. It is an interesting match. It's going to be an intriguing match because Sevilla like to attack. Sevilla get opened up very easily on the counter attacks as well. So Manchester United will be wary of Sevilla's attacking display, and then they use their own pace, like Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and the physicality and finishing power of Romelu Lukaku. And right, sir, moving on to the next draw, and it's the humongous one. It's Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain. Wow, it was just a wow factor when this draw was drawn in the neon stadium, or neon base of the Champions League draw, I should say. It was just a wow, and it just hush around that arena, that it's Real Madrid versus PSG in the last 16 stage. Real Madrid, the last two Champions League winners, and PSG, one of the informed teams, and for me, one of the tippers to win the Champions League this season. With the front line they have is absolutely marvelous. Cavani, Neymar, and Mbappe. Wow, that's front line. A very good midfield as well, consisting of Verratti and Thiago Motta and Adrian Rabiot, and have a very good backline as well. Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Dani Alves. So goalkeeper is not a very strong, or I should say very assured, but still they are a very, very good team to actually go very far in this Champions League. And Real Madrid, as we all know, the serial campaigners, they tend to do well. They just get their game up in these big games in the Champions League, so they will be expected to do well, especially in the Champions League knockout stages, even though they're not performing to the potential in the La Liga at the current stage, and they have not performed pretty well in the group stage also of the Champions League. But for me, they're expected to do well. So it's going to be it's going to be very, very intriguing draw between the two giants of Europe at the moment here. Zidane has his work cut out, and Unai Emery also has his work cut out, because Unai Emery, as a manager, has never won at Santiago Bernabeu, and PSG will face Real Madrid in the first leg at the Bernabeu first of all, then the second leg will happen in Paris. So if Real Madrid get a good sizable advantage in the first leg, then it's going to be an intriguing battle in the second leg, because we all know Madrid are very good on the counter attacks. So if they get their defense right, PSG can be in trouble. But we never know what will happen. We'll see what happens in February and March. It's going to be an intriguing draw. We can assure you that as well. Moving on to the sixth draw, it's Shakhtar Donetsk versus AS Roma. We all know Shakhtar, the only team who defeated Manchester City in this season so far. They're a good team, especially at home in Ukraine. So they will be a much feared team at home, especially. Their ever record can be a little bit questionable, but for me, they're a decent team. And Roma, to me, has surprised me, to be honest. They were tipped to finish third in a group which consisted of Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, but they have gone past it. They have defeated Chelsea in the group stages. They have given Atletico Madrid a good scare, and they obviously got past Karabakh. So it's a good draw for Roma, to be honest, if they want to go further in this tournament. So they have to do well in the first leg, and they're generally good at home. So if the away first leg goes good for them, then you might tip them to go into the last 8 stages of this tournament. Moving on to the 7th tie of this last 16 stage of the Champions League, and we have another humongous one. It's Chelsea from England versus FC Barcelona from Spain. It's a fabulous draw again. Wow, just another wow factor, because Chelsea, as we all know, are a very good team. They are the defending Premier League champions from last season, and really they have a very good record in terms of facing against Barcelona. They haven't lost much in the Champions League. They generally meet in the later stages of the Champions League in the previous few editions, if you look at the history books. So these two meeting in the last 16 stage can be a very, very good affair. Chelsea, as we all know, have a very good attacking lineup consisting of Eden Hazard, Alvaro Morata, and Willian and Pedro Can. FC Barcelona, as we all know, Messi led Barcelona. They have Luis Suarez as well. They have Paulinho. They have some very good defense as well. So it's going to be an intriguing battle. Chelsea being at home first will look to get some advantage going into the second leg at Barcelona. But it's going to be an intriguing battle between the two very good teams in England and Spain respectively. And so moving into the last tie of this last 16 stage, we have Bayern versus Besiktas, another very, very good draw we have in the last 16 stage. Besiktas, one of the form teams, I can tell you. I have followed them a bit and they're a very good team. They have some very good players, some experienced Champions League players like Alvaro Negredo in the attacking sense and Pepe on the back line, Gary Medel, and they have some very good team. They have some very good players and the first Turkish team to top the group in the Champions League stage. So that's another very good achievement for the Turkish team, and they will make Bayern very comfortable, especially at the hometown, because Besiktas are at home in the second leg, so it's going to be a very good game for Bayern to face. Bayern at home can be powerful, so you have to be careful, but Bayern have to take sizable advantage into Besiktas if they want to go through, because Besiktas are at home are a very, very good side, and you can just see how this can unfold as well. So here are the 8 draws. We have Juventus versus Spurs, Basel versus Manchester City, Porto versus Liverpool, Sevilla versus Manchester United, Real Madrid versus PSG, Shakhtar Donetsk versus AS Roma, Chelsea versus FC Barcelona, and FC Bayern versus Besiktas FC. That's the 8 ties we have of the last 16 draw of the UEFA Champions League, and we have reviewed them all now on the SpoBits podcast. So that's it from today as of now for the review show of the Champions League last 16 stage draw. Stay tuned on SpoBits.com for more analysis, podcasts, reviews and articles, and do follow SpoBits on Twitter and like the Facebook page of SpoBits. Thanks a lot.